hop on this morning. I just got back from the gym. Our gym's opened back up this week. It definitely felt good to be back under the barbell. For me, it's been a little over, I guess, eight to 10 weeks since I've been to the gym. Been working out at home, so but I enjoy lifting, barbell lifting, and strength training, and so it was good mentally and physically to get back in there. I want to talk a little bit about adding distance as we age. And so let's set this point as adding distance after the age of 40, which really isn't a whole lot different than adding distance at any time. But the reality is as we age, and this process starts in our late 20s, early 30s, we definitely start to lose muscle mass, we start to lose strength, we start to lose bone mass, and a lot of people just accept that as a part of aging. And the reality is that's a poor excuse for aging is a poor excuse for losing distance, for losing strength, for losing function. We can definitely do something about it. Now, the problem is most people in that bracket tend to avoid the strength training they need, and even some of the speed and power training they need. And even in your 60s, 70s, and 80s, you can still very safely load your body with squatting, with deadlifting, with pressing, rowing, pull-ups, all the big movements that we get strong in at any age. Becomes even more important that we progressively load our bodies as we age to combat that natural process of losing strength and losing muscle. And if you're losing distance off the tee, if you start to find yourself losing distance off the tee, generally in that age bracket, 40 and above, the number one place we're going to look at is your strength. And 99.9% of the time, most people aren't doing any strength training at all, or the strength training they're doing is with very light loads and high reps, which just isn't going to get you, it's good for just general fitness, but it's not going to get you anywhere from a strength standpoint. Beyond that, talk about power development. And so these are things just like basic jumps, basic medicine ball throws, cable rotations, things where we're trying to move fast with a lighter weight. So strength, we're trying to move a heavier weight for lower reps, so usually in that kind of 5 to 8 rep range. Power training, we're going to do a much lighter weight, so that may be a medicine ball, maybe cable rotations with a lighter weight, it may be some jumps with our body weight, and we're going to do still very low repetitions, high intensity, so we're going all out on each rep, so maybe 3 to 5 reps, much longer rest time, so 2 to 3 minutes of rest in between each set, making sure we're recovering those energy systems when we're doing those activities. And then the last few things, obviously mobility is important, and so especially as we age, that's another thing we tend to lose as we age is mobility. Making sure we work on mobility through the hips, mobility through the thoracic spine, through the neck, and through the shoulder. So those are kind of our rotational centers of the golf swing. So that is important, and generally, the importance of that is, tends to increase with age, but I think we can overdo it. Most people that come to me over the age of 40, that tends to be all they want to focus on. When in reality, still the lowest hanging fruit is going to be improving your strength levels, especially if you're trying to add distance or reduce the loss of distance with age. And then lastly is transferring that over to the swing. And that's where speed intentional training comes in. That's where things like over and under speed training comes in, but you can get in trouble with those with too much volume, or if you just jump straight into those without a proper strength base or strength training program. That's something we've seen. I know Chris and the guys at Par for Success have done some studies on that, showing that you don't need a real high volume, and you need to have some kind of a strength and power base before you're even worried about overspeed training. So again, to sum it all up, adding distance over the age of 40, is not a lot different than adding distance at any age. Maybe you have to be a little more careful. Maybe we have to modify some of your movements. But the reality is you still got to get strong. in the basic movements, your squatting, your lunging, your deadlifting, your pressing, your pulling. You still got to train for power, jumps, medicine ball throws, cable rotations, Olympic lift derivatives, if you've got some experience with that, and mobility. So our rotational centers, hips, thoracic spine, shoulder, and neck. And then we need to transfer that over to the swing with speed intentional practice. So that could just be swinging your driver as fast as you can. That could be teeing up 10 balls at the beginning of your practice session. Once you've warmed up, with the only goal of just bombing it out there as far as you can, not worrying too much about mechanics or under overspeed training as well. So if you're interested, I do have a free adding speed over 40 PDF little ebook. So if you're interested, definitely comment below, hashtag I'm interested. You can direct message me as well, or email me at johnpaul@goodrypt.com. Let's not use age as an excuse, whether that's losing distance, losing function, getting stronger, losing mobility. Those things happen naturally with age, but we don't have to accept that, and we can definitely do a lot to reverse those changes and to slow them, if not maintain your peak, if you will, for a much longer period of time. So hope everybody has a great Monday, has a great week. Reach out with any questions.